What's up, Hard Knock TV? This is Jessie Reyez saying, hey, baby.
How you feeling today?
Great.
That was an amazing show last night.
Thank you, man.
I was really impressed.
Thanks.
If there was a movie about your life, opening scene, the camera's coming through the doors of your childhood, what music's playing in the background?
Cumbia.
Cumbia?
Yeah, cumbia.
Any particular artist?
There's so many.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. Singing songs like La Pollera Colorada, that song, that's playing.
Yeah.
That's playing. And my mom's cooking.
What's she cooking?
She's cooking empanadas, man. Or sancocho, one of the two. She could be cooking both. That woman's a saint. My brother's playing video games. And my dad's on the couch. Just got home from work. He's resting. What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
My ass is in front of the TV listening to music. Singing opera.
Singing opera?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that what you're doing as a little kid?
My mom said that she caught me like just looking at the TV and like singing opera. That's when she noticed that I had like an inclination for it, you know?
Yeah.
I remember like my favorite things were like this little shitty little piano that we had and asking my dad to like replay songs over and over and over again. But yeah, man, that's been the childhood dream since as early as I can remember.
Yesterday you said you stole the guitar from your dad. Do you remember what age you stole it from?
Yeah, I do. I think it was like 14 or 15 where I was like, this is mine now.
I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I feel like there's less Latinos in hip-hop and R&B now than there were when I was growing up. You're one, you know, that's
Thank
kind
you.
of like cutting through. Like, why do you think that might be?
Why there's less?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know if that's entirely true because I feel like the nature of our environment now where the internet provides a platform for niche markets to excel as opposed to the majority ruling, it lets people be more at home in what they fuck with as opposed to something being able to tap into the majorities. So even though me and you might feel that way, I'm sure there's like little niche communities where there are some like crazy Latino rappers that are getting love from their city and they have maybe like 50,000 followers, but not everybody knows about them, but they're making moves and they're making money, you know? But I don't know, that's what I think. And then I start finding these little like artists online where I'm like, fuck, like I wish I knew you existed. Like, fuck, Princess Nokia. I only found out about Princess. She's so sick. I found out about her like months ago. But I remember thinking, man, I wish I knew about you earlier. Like, I love it. I love the message. I love the fucking vibe. I love everything. And that's another, and some people say like, oh, there's not a lot of Latinas in it. But then I'm like, but fuck, there's Caliuchis, there's Princess Nokia. There's like, you know, these girls that are stepping up. So I don't know, man. I feel like it's just niche markets now as opposed to majority. But that's what a lot of artists are working towards like getting higher and higher. So maybe in a few years it'll happen, but the internet's new. So there's not really a full circle thing to come to because we're in this like unknown right now. We don't really know what's gonna happen.
I guess what I meant was more like in the mainstream. Like when I turn on the radio, I don't really hear a lot of Latinos on there. When I turn on the TV, like in the internet, yes, I'm not saying they don't exist. I just feel like as a music industry, it doesn't seem
it's not there. I do think there are obstacles for mainstream, especially in America, you know. Anytime your skin's a little darker than what some people expect, it's gonna be a bit of an uphill battle. But we as a people, we as minorities, because of this new thing called the internet, because of these new ways to reach people, the highest platform no se anhela like como se anhelaba antes, you know? Because I don't need to stand here to talk to 10,000 people. I can stand here and talk to 10,000 people. And the thing is, like, there are people on the radio that could ask their fans and be like, I want 10,000 people to show up at a park right now. And they won't have that reach. Even though there's not a lot of Latinas on the radio or Latinos on the radio, and these guys are the ones that are like pumping music and shit, but a lot of that is smoke and mirrors because their effect won't be as connected. But because, again, minorities or people that aren't on the radio all the time are closer to the ground, we have more of an intimate reach with people. So if I say 10,000 people, it might actually happen because I'm more connected to the people, you know?
And that was evident yesterday at your show. I mean, your fans knew every single word. They were like hanging on everything you would say. Like the impact that you've had on those fans is very powerful.
Yo, man, I'm honored.
Something that you said yesterday at the show that I want you to talk about is con todo pulmón.
Con todo pulmón.
What does that mean to you?
Man, we're fucking everything. Like with your lung, man, blow your lung out. you know? Blow your lung out. Like, just go full Monty, go head first, like that.
Is that something your mom told you?
Yeah, a todo pulmón. She loves, like, if I'm singing, like, or if my little nieces are singing, that's like a saying, like, uy, está cantando, está gritando, está cantando todo pulmón, you know?
Yeah.
With everything you got, man.
You had both your parents at the show yesterday, right?
Yeah.
What did that feel like?
Great. It feels great. Anytime I can get them at a show, I feel so fucking happy. I know I'm very fortunate to, like, be living this right now, because I know there are a lot of people that, for whatever reasons, for adversities, for lack of faith, for lack of work ethic, for lack of environment, they haven't been able to achieve this goal yet, where I'm at right now. And some people want to do it before their parents pass, you know? Some people want their family to be able to share that, and it's so shitty when you've worked your entire life to get somewhere, but then the person you wanted to share it with, or the people you wanted to share it with, aren't on earth anymore. I can't imagine that feeling. So the fact that I'm able to share this with them right now, because I know tomorrow's not promised. I could die tomorrow, you know what I mean? I'm so happy to have them at shows and have them have this experience with me.
Were they always supportive of you wanting to be a singer, or were they like, get a real job first and then follow your dreams? Or?
Oh man, I'm so lucky the way that they approached it. Like, I was more against it. To me, when I was younger, I was like, fuck, I gotta go to school for kinesiology, I gotta go to school for journalism, because writing was my plan B, you know? Which is funny, because writing's my plan A too. It's just in a different world. But my mom would say, no, go to school for music. And I was like, ma, pa qué? Like, if I go to school for music, it's not, to me it was intangible, because my fucking brain was beaten by the school system thinking, you know? But I was really fortunate to have them support it, you know? Whatever I do, my mom always says, she's like the same, like, hágalo con todo, you know? Don't half-ass anything. If you're gonna do it, fucking go for it.
Yeah.
So I was lucky.
How did your parents end up in Toronto?
It was easier to get papers to Canada than it was to the States. That's how. I had an aunt. My mom's the youngest of 11, and one of my aunts is the first one that came over. And then from my dad's side, it's kind of the same thing. It was all around the same time, like the 70s, you know? But that's why. It was just easier to get papers. My dad's allergic to the cold. So we waited like something like 16, 17 years to get papers to the States. And I finally got them, and that's how I ended up living in Florida for a few years.
Oh, crazy. Okay, yeah, it took me like 20 years.
Yeah, man, that shit is crazy.
Yeah, people don't realize.
No, when you do it the right way, of course there are illegal people here. Like, what the fuck? 20 years, 17 years, 16 years? And being on thin ice, of course there are people here that are like, well, we can't really wait that long because we have 5 kids that we got to worry about. For
sure. I couldn't leave this country for 20 years. I couldn't see it's just my mom and I here. All my rest of my family is Argentina. I couldn't leave for 20 years because it was like left. I couldn't come back.
Crazy.
I read that you were busking at the beaches.
Yeah, man.
From busking at the beaches to this weekend, you know, performing at the BET Awards.
That's crazy. That's fucking nuts, eh?
Right?
Yeah, man. It was crazy. It was at Fort Lauderdale. I was living in Fort Lauderdale, and I was bartending in Miami and Fort Lauderdale. And yeah, man, it's just crazy when I think about it, you know? I know I say it a lot, but I'm so grateful. I'm so honored, you know? I know it's not common. And sometimes you get jaded because you're around other people in the industry, so you get used to it, and then little problems start getting you mad, but you just have to bring yourself back down to earth and be like, you are very fortunate right now. You are very fortunate. You don't have a right to complain about, like, little things. Because I could just as easily still be on the beach right now. I could just as easily still be fucking, like, pushing my mixtapes outside of a Kendrick concert at the Fillmore in Miami, because I was so desperate, you know? So desperate. Anybody who could hear me, anybody who would take it. That's crazy. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone, man.